Welcome to Now. I'm your host, Curtis Parody, bringing you the news happening in the world right now. Happy Monday, everyone, the glorious day after the weekend where, well, either you have to head back to work, or you have to head to school, or maybe even both. Isn't it fantastic? No? Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, let's kick off this week with some big news from the world of professional sports. The NBA today has its first openly gay player. Jason Collins announced today that at the age of 33, it was time for him to be true about the person he is and announced that he is gay. Talking about the topic, he says he didn't set out to be the first openly gay athlete playing a major American team sport, but since he is, he's happy to start the conversation. He also compared the situation to being like a student in a classroom, raising his hand and announcing that he's different. He didn't want to be the first person to do it, but because no one else has done it, he's happy to be the first. Jason also compared the entire situation of coming out to like baking in an oven, stating, "Imagine you're in an oven, baking. Some of us know and accept our sexuality right away, and some need more time to cook. I should know, I baked for 33 years. An interesting comparison, Jason also talked about how someone like himself goes against the gay stereotype, which is why he believes many players will be shocked to learn of his sexual orientation. The big question though about this entire thing is how will other players respond to this announcement? Collins says he's hoping for the best, but also planning for the worst. Daytime talk show host and gay activist Ellen DeGeneres also sent her love out to Collins by way of Twitter. And you can be sure Ellen and her producers are working hard to bring Collins on the show. If you want to read the full Sports Illustrated article about Jason Collins coming out, there's a link to it in the description below with all of the others. Changing topics here, let's talk about how some people recently were trapped atop one of the tallest buildings in Western Europe. Yes, yesterday, April 28th, was not the greatest of days to go and check out the amazing view atop the 800-foot tall Shard in London. The reason being, after the accidental trip of the fire alarm on one of the floors below the 68th, the elevators used to transport people to the very top were actually shut down, meaning the 200 or so people checking out the views of London were actually stuck there, at least until the elevators could be reactivated. Pictures like this started popping up on Twitter showing the number of people simply waiting to go back down. So if you think about it, okay, the elevators are not working, let's use the stairs. It's gonna be a bit of a hike to go down, but hey, at least it's down. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't an option. According to a number of people who were actually stranded on the 68th floor, they were not allowed to use the stairs, which of course makes sense because, you know, stairs, they're not for walking anymore. They're like art. You just look at them and you're like, that's what we used to use. So after an hour of the elevators being shut down, they were reactivated and people began moving down the tower. And in a bit of fun elevator facts for you, because I know you totally wanted it, you were like, Curtis, we want elevator facts. Well, I've got them for you, and a fun fact here, the lifts used on the Shard transport people to the 68th floor in a staggering 60 seconds. That's an average of 6 meters per second. That's pretty damn fast. So there you go, fun factoid of the day. From one tall tower to another, this one is in the heart of New York City. One World Trade Center is already the tallest building in New York City, and when the spire is placed atop the building, it will be only a few feet from being the tallest in the Western Hemisphere. But the movement of that last spire section is being pushed back. Officials were hoping to move the spire into place today, but due to the weather in New York City, it's been pushed back. When the 800-ton spire does eventually make its way to the top of the tower, it will become home to a number of broadcasting systems that were destroyed on September 11th, 2001. World Trade Center 1 is expected to be open to the public in 2014. From tall buildings pushing their way towards the sky to a fancy new spaceship taking its first powered flight. Today was a big day for Virgin Galactic Spaceship Two as it took its first powered flight. Now, Spaceship Two didn't break through the atmosphere during this test flight. It did, though, mark a big event for the company who's hoping to take passengers on suborbital joyrides in the future. During this test flight, Spaceship Two was strapped beneath a twin fuselage jet that took off from an airport runway in the Mojave Desert north of Los Angeles. After it reached the appropriate altitude, Spaceship Two was released and the rocket engine was ignited for 16 glorious seconds. Then, of course, it glided back to the Earth safe and sound. Now again, this probably doesn't sound like a super huge accomplishment, but after the deadly explosion in 2007, the team at Virgin Galactic aren't taking any chances. At this time, there's no word on when the first commercial flight will take place, but when it does, owner of Virgin Galactic Sir Richard Branson and his family will be on board for the historic event. And last, while perusing through the internet today, I stumbled across this and, well, I just couldn't pass it by. A new commercial for Windows Phone was released today, and I have to say props to Microsoft, because it's pretty freaking hilarious. It depicts Samsung and Apple fans battling it out at a wedding over whose phone is better. My favorite part of this whole thing has to be this. Whee! Whee! Wait, that doesn't work. My iPhone doesn't do the tap thing. Also, there's no one here to tap with. Ugh, it's a sad day for me. Anyway, it's an awesome ad from Microsoft. Go check it out. Link to that and the others, of course, in the description below. Jumping back to the big story of the day, I want to know, since one major pro athlete has announced that he's gay, do you think others will come out as well? And what sport do you think will be next? Football, hockey, baseball? Which one? Tell me in the comment section below, or of course you can always let me know on my Facebook page, through Twitter, or on Google+. Links to all that and the other topics I talked about in today's episode in the description below, along with the always amazing subscribe button. So until next time, I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can of course check out more videos that I create by clicking on them below. Check out now for the latest news happening in the world right now, Paradise Gaming for some fun gameplay videos, or of course my personal vlog channel to see what I'm doing outside of my studio. Also, if you're interested in supporting the show and getting some new clothes for yourself, just like this shirt, you can pick up this one if you want. Check out the store at thecurtisparodystore.ca. Bye everyone.